Well, hello Scotia, welcome to Las Vegas on a budget. Like me, I'm sure you're dreaming of Vegas, and today we're looking at Implosions. And they do build them up in Las Vegas, but by God do they put them down again just as quickly almost. We're going to look at the dunes first of all, and for that we hand over to Steve Wynn.
Captain of the Britannia, are you ready, sir? Prepare broadside. Ready, aim, fire!
And a much younger Steve Wynn there. At the Treasure Island, which was quite new then, firing on the dunes, and I'm sure you know what it is going to become in just a few moments. I'll show you. But very impressive pyrotechnics there. Huge fireball, puff of smoke, and the dunes is coming to its end. A fiery mass there. Eventually it'll just go down, and quite old footage, so it's a bit grainy. And of course it became the Bellagio, which I'm sure is a great improvement. So what's next? This is the landmark. It existed between 1969 and 1990, so a relatively short term. It had Howard Hughes was an owner for just a little while, and this is quite unusual because it has been the footage of the implosion has been included in a film, Mars Attacks, the Tim Burton film, which was made in 1996, and the Martians there attacking the landmark, and quite a good cast in this. Annette Bening was in it. I think Tom Jones was in it actually as well, and all the investors there on the top floor, and the globe there crushing Jack Nicholson, as you can see. But that's not how it really happened. The Martians there flying off. Not how it really happened, and we'll see what really happened in just a moment. It wasn't too different. This is real footage now, that's the landmark. As I said, once owned by Howard Hughes. Rooms, I think, in the column, and then like an observation deck and bar there at the top. And just as you saw in the movie, sliced in half and then coming down on itself on a very crisp Las Vegas evening, as you can see. Looks like dusk, doesn't it? Coming down on itself. And it became nothing more exciting than a parking lot for the Las Vegas Convention Center. So next we have the Sands. Now the Sands is really synonymous with Las Vegas. One of the best known ex-casinos, I would say. It was built in 1952, ended in 1996. The building itself a little bit grotty, it looks like. It looks like some sort of Mallorcan third-rate hotel, an apartment complex, but I'm sure it wasn't at all like that. Quite an unusual design there, the arches at the top. Probably looking quite dated from pretty much the day it was built. And as you can see there, pyrotechnics coming out there of the side. Down it goes, folds on itself very nicely. Of course, the name lives on, the Sands. It, of course, became the Venetian and the Palazzo, I suppose, on the same complex. And then the name Sands lives on. Sands Corporation is a big Asian company now. It's owned by the company is Las Vegas Sands, and that's the Sands Macau. Aladdin. This is quite an unusual one. 1966 and 1998, this building existed for. Was apparently never a big money maker, the Aladdin, owned by lots of different people in its time on the strip. Looks like it just falls through the floor, doesn't it? It became another casino called the Aladdin, which again wasn't a huge success. Changing to Planet Hollywood, which again wasn't a huge success, but then it was bought by Caesars that have made a little bit more of a go of it. El Rancho Vegas only operated for 19 years, then I think it stood empty for years and years before it was finally taken down much later. As you can see the stratosphere standing behind it, so it must have been much later than that. Desert Inn, again a very well-known casino. When I first went to Las Vegas, this had literally just been demolished. They were taking away bits of muck or bits of debris. Stardust there in the background. Now this had a number of different buildings, some of which were relatively new. So there was a St. Andrew's Tower and a Palms Tower. I don't know which one is which of these two that you're seeing now. There's another one. These buildings served as the offices for Wynn Resorts and held the art collection until later it went down, of course making way for Wynn and Encore, which are certainly two fantastic resorts. This is the Castaway. This one's on Boulder Highway, owned by Station Casinos when it went down, not to be confused with the Castaways that was on the strip that made way for Mirage. This one is Bourbon Street, or Bourbon Street, I suppose the Americans would say, operated for 25 years. Never a massively successful casino, I believe, and I'm not sure what it actually made way for. Do put it in the comments if you know. But went down with the best of them. Westin Casino, Westin Hotel there in the background. I'm sure they must have evacuated that for the night for safety reasons. And next we have the Boardwalk. Now that clown used to freak me out. I'm sure it would freak pretty much anyone out. The hotel operated for 40 years just about, and it made way for city centre, so it was located between what was then Monte Carlo but is now Park MGM and I think the Jockey Club, and it was one of the buildings that was taken down in order to make way for city centre, so Cosmo, Aria, all of that. And they've stripped away a lot of the walls, as you can see, before taking it down. But again, just folding in on itself in just a few seconds. Now this is the Stardust sign, which is now at Resorts World, which is where Stardust used to be. As you can see, they really made an effort to take this one down using lots and lots of fireworks. And again, another example of them stripping all of the walls away before taking it down. And the countdown is on. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and off it goes. Now eventually, this was owned by Boyd, which is a big player in the locals casino market, and they do very well actually, Boyd, at the minute. They were going to build their own mega casino on this site called Echelon Place, but then the Great Recession hit and they abandoned it, and then it was eventually sold to Resorts World, and it's Resorts World that is now built on this site. Pretty close to the Stardust is the new Frontier. I think the Frontier was built originally on this site, and then the new Frontier with this new building. The camera watching that didn't last long, I wouldn't have thought. Obliterated. They seem to have sliced this one in half, as you can see just about there on the right. What a mess that's made. And to this day, this lot is vacant. So the Clarion, at one time called the Demi Reynolds, never a real great one. I think it was called a number of different things over the years. But yeah, never a great success, as I said. Quite an exciting show though when it went down, I would imagine. Next we're going to have a look at the Riviera. So I stayed here once, not long before it closed actually. There's a really good documentary on the web on this, on YouTube, called Cashed Out Casino, which I really would recommend, which shows the last days of the Riviera before it was imploded. A couple of different buildings we're going to see being imploded. So as we watch that, let's ponder on which one will be next. Circus maybe, but that seems to be a bit of a born survivor. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Hope it has been of use, and goodbye. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Also, I'd be very grateful if you could like this video and hit that notification bell. If you do that, you'll continue to receive lots more rubbish just like this.